If you wouldn't mind starting introductions for me, Zeph.
Certainly. Just hop on cam. Okay. In the top right hand corner of Yonsu, first time we've seen this map today from Team Evil Geniuses, it's HuK.
And his opponent, I want to say recently, but he's been there for a while. Now on Root Gaming, it's going to be the Yellow Zerg player Petraeus. And just a small note again, we've swapped off of GameHeart, guys, just on the small concern that there might be lag for HuK. Of course, you know, it's cool seeing those vibrant colors, but let's be honest, you want to see the best gameplay possible, regardless of whether it's black or white or in full saturation. But Master's got some pretty cool. The Headspace sponsors for this. You want to talk about that little voucher they're doing real quick?
Yeah. Headspace is the National Mental Health Organization. They've been super cool and offered a $50 gift voucher for PC case gear for the highest placing Australian player. Australian only because they are an Australian organization. But yeah, it's really cool of them. And if you actually go on the threads, you can donate to them. Anything more than $2 is actually tax deductible as well. So yeah, check them out.
Yeah, I'm making a small joke there, but Headspace, they've also got some videos we're going to be playing a little bit later in the broadcast as well, so you can get a better look at them and what they do. And I mean, the videos are kind of, they're short, they're sweet, they're about dealing with depression, anxiety, anger, all these sort of things. So we'll get a better look at them as we continue through the broadcast here. But here we are in the semifinals, and I meant to play them out a bit earlier too, but of course the brackets were down for a while, and we weren't quite sure where we were at in the brackets. But yeah, this is the semifinals match for the winner's bracket. So we're kind of close to the end of the tournament, guys. We're getting there, but I do want to remind everybody, there is a loser's bracket that people have to go through.
Yeah, I don't know if the loser's bracket's been updated fully just yet, because it looks pretty far behind at the moment. So still, there's tons of games to go.
Oh, is the site finally back up?
Yes. It is, awesome. But it looks like it's still kind of being filled out because there were a lot of matches that went on while it was down.
Yeah. HuK come back to his classic gateway expand move here. I guess the Forge, I mean, the Forge fast expand, whatever, it's not a bad move, but I think he really wanted to get that potential to cannons around that third. If Petraeus had let that slip, that game could have looked entirely differently. But Yonsu's another map too where I think on the back of HuK's mind, he's got to be worried about Swarmos. It's very possible that those become a big threat once again for him.
Yeah, certainly. Although I love this map. I say it like pretty much every time. From a Protoss perspective, for Century Immortal or Blink Immortal kind of things, the same sort of thing that HuK was kind of starting out as in the last game.
It can be really strong, that's for sure.
Yes.
I like the Stalker coming out though. He will be able to fend off these Lings and maybe even kill one or two. Does have to be careful if he doesn't get surrounded though. Stalker will still kill 4 Lings, I think, but you know, it's never fun dealing with this. One actually slips by, curiously enough.
Yeah, Sneaky Snake manages to get it in there and have a double check of what's going on. I mean, there's really not that much to see this early on in the game, but no harm in making sure that there's nothing that you don't expect coming out from the Protoss at this stage. So, yeah, Mothership Core will clean that up, and we're back into normal Zerg mode. Yeah,
it's curious seeing HuK again. Like, I guess maybe it's not the standard. He had of course delayed that Mothership Core in that first build that we saw today, but instead, now coming through with it again, he'll be able to pick up a couple lanes that are errant around the map. You usually go to the watchtowers right away because that's where you'll typically have lanes stationed. But
all right. Oh, you got the Mothership Core joining the Stalker. Didn't think. Okay, I guess he's just gonna take it all the way home. He could have poked with both, but since the Stalker's already injured, I mean, fair enough. Send it home.
Yeah, thank you to Pure Dragon, by the way. I'm sorry, guys. I had to tab out and update the bot because the scores weren't working, but now the scores are up to date. It is 1-0 in the favor of Petraeus if you're just joining us in this best of 3. So my apologies on that being a little bit delayed.
Yep.
Oh, but we're actually going to get a creep tumor. Oh, no! One more shot would have done it. Now he's in a retreat because the Queens could actually kill this Mothership Core.
Ouch.
That's awkward.
Brutal. Oh, I was going to say, it's going to be frustrating because it actually did hit, but just as it popped, so it was kind of like, yes, I am immune now. Too bad. And Pet actually hasn't gone towards taking the third hatch right away, taking a bit of a delayed one. Zergs like to take it early. He certainly took it much earlier on Frost, I think. But
that's a map where you can get away with a lot easier on Frost, whereas on this one you got a lot to worry about. Because I mean, with the creep spread already starting, he'll be fine to respond to anything HuK could do. And HuK, I don't know. He's not exactly going for 4 gates every game. It's not like that third base is under a lot of threat or pressure, so Petraeus taking it later, it's not going to cost him anything, but it's also not... I don't think it would have hurt him to have done it earlier. The side note here, because someone was asking earlier, Zeph from Australia, of course, if you can tell by the accent. I am Canadian. Someone asking, I'm from British Columbia, so hello if there's any other BC people out there. I know it's a really odd time for people in North America. It's almost midnight over here, but I believe it's just starting your day over there, so regardless of where you guys are tuning in from, I hope you're having a wonderful evening, and I want to thank you all for joining us here on the Masters Cup. Again, the Australian portion of the world often gets kind of overlooked because of its time zone, but it's nice to see a lot of you guys tuning in to support the tournament.
Yeah, for sure. And this is actually an awesome tournament. It's been running for a very long time, and we've actually got sick prizes. Like the money involved in these sort of monthly cups is actually huge. It all trickles down to 6th place.
And let's not forget, they do something no other tournament does, where they just randomly give someone $10 for playing. They just randomly draw a player, and even if you went out in the first round, if you got 2 owed right away, it doesn't matter. You might just make $10 for playing and supporting the tournament, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And there's usually cool giveaways. In the past, we've had people like TT Sports chip in with mouse pads and stuff. This time we got the PC case gear voucher from Headspace, and there's a lot of other organizations that just randomly go, hey, Masters Cup, have some cool stuff to give to your viewers, to your players, whatever, and it's really awesome of them, gotta say.
So I'm dumb. I like, even though I was listening to every word you were saying, as soon as you went, hey, I was like, wait, what? Like, like you're calling me out. Oh, it's too late for Rifkin at this point. I've been doing casting way too much today. Of course, we did the Starboard Ladder Cup this morning, which was a lot of fun. And again, big shout out to Simon Gear for joining us for that. But yeah, as we get here through the semifinals match, my curiosity goes to, like, HuK. I mean, coming into this series, again, he's kind of the well-known player. And I don't think I would play against him by any means, because Petraeus is just as likely to win this, but I do like the way he's played the series leading up to this one. I'm a little shocked he's having such trouble with Petraeus in game number 1, but as we get a little bit more here to game number 2, nice force fields do go down. He should be able to actually deal a lot of damage to his base, but Petraeus surprising HuK with a bit of a burrow will keep these roaches alive, and the idea is you stay burrowed until the force fields run out, but HuK lays a couple more down and he focuses on the hatchery. He's got enough energy to recall too.
Oh, he's gonna get it.
Oh, he should set the recall right now though. Oh, there we go. Great snipe out of HuK.
Yeah, not quite. Really nicely done. And that's exactly what he hadn't been able to achieve previously. Last game, he just didn't get to touch Petraeus at all. And so Petraeus is mad now. He's going to head across the map with a bunch of roaches, see what he can do, see if there's a third to deny. And I think there will be surely, although he's already smartly got a cannon up there to help with the defense. It's really hard to attack up here as the Zerg, because you're always going up a ramp into a choke, and it's kind of not worth it. Although he does have the burrow, there's no obs out yet, so
there's a
I
Spire.
suppose he can force the force fields.
There's a Spire follow-up to this, but Petraeus doesn't have the money to invest in a Mutalisk swap like we saw last time at Frost. He was comfortably on like 3, almost 4 bases that time, so he was able to just dump 1,000 minerals into 10 Mutalisks, no problem. This time, it's not going to be the case, and if he does swap into Mutalisk, it's going to be such a low amount initially that HuK's not really going to be threatened by this. What? Oh, Pylon's blocking the Nexus, I think. That's awkward. That's awkward.
Wow.
Running in from behind them, not going to quite catch HuK off guard, but if Petraeus sees the armies over here, he's certainly going to move in through the natural. So just already getting ready, knocking down the rocks, getting ready to attack 2 locations at the same time. This is going to be very difficult for HuK to defend.
Yeah, this is a good way to go. And as soon as he moves out of position, bam, in he comes. Going to try and... No, okay.
He doesn't need a lot in the main. The nice thing about the main is you can overcharge this, right? It's this third he's trying to secure that's going to need the mobile defense.
Yeah. It's even if Petraeus doesn't get anything done there, though, it's cool because he's dancing back and forth. He's forcing HuK to pay attention to him right now, and that's keeping him off his back while he's re-establishing his third base, getting the drones mining properly on that, and he's actually transitioning to mutas right now as well. So if HuK is too preoccupied with this, he's going to get caught with his pants down. Oh, and he manages to get the robo as well. Sick moves from Petraeus right now. There's only 1 obs out on the field right now too, so if you can actually get rid of some of these cannons and start doing burrow stuff again, that's going to be pretty tricky for HuK to actually deal with.
Sorry, my bad on the camera work here, guys. I was trying to fix up with my mouse real quick, but the sentries have a lot of energy retained behind this, which is really nice. The 3 cannons is kind of insane to look at, because I think even Petraeus was a little bit surprised to be driven off so easily, but again, the force fields available to HuK are quite numerous. Normally at this point you see the sentries drained. They're usually low and they've just come off of an attack. But HuK secured his third. Petraeus has just gotten his third back up and running too. And the Mutalisks come in. Now there are Blink Stalkers ready to try and chase these down, but even with Blink, the mobility for Stalkers is hard to match against these Mutalisks.
And the other thing is there's still all those other forces of Petraeus waiting to go in as soon as the army is out of position, so he's really pulling him in all directions right now. Lots of units flooding into the third base. Great force fields from HuK, keeping those at bay, but he only really has sentries and a few zealots. And oh my god, the meter's actually getting hammered right now.
But still, a lot of them not quite dead. He's only lost 4 in total, not that big of a deal. For HuK, who's had to spend so much energy, time, and effort to try and chase them down, I kind of wonder if he would want to start investing some cannons in the mineral line. It looks like he's going to do actually exactly that. I mean, it might seem like a waste of resources, guys, but if you spend 300 minerals on cannons, that's way better than losing the 6 probes it would cost you otherwise. So, I think it could work out, especially if it means he has to micro around a lot less. But the fear begins and the struggle is real. 5 swarm hosts have been started behind this.
Yeah, this is cool. Force him to kind of worry heaps about those meters and then make all these cannons like he is and then suddenly go, oh, wait, you're not even making them anymore. Damn. So it's a tough spot for HuK. 4th base coming down for Petraeus as well, and he's still constantly coming at HuK, keeping in his base, saying, you absolutely have to recognize where my army is at all times, because the second you don't pay attention, I'm going to kill something of yours. Surprisingly, though, even though he's been doing all these attacks, both players have only killed 2 of each other's workers. Okay.
That's I should have looked at that earlier. That's a little bit crazy, but I worry a little bit for HuK because he doesn't have the flow of the warp prism. He doesn't have the advantage of mobility. He doesn't have pylons littered all over the map, so he's not going to really have a way to get around the swarm host like he normally would. And for Petraeus, he went from having no 3rd to having half the map covered in creep and comfortably taking a 4th. So he's recovered off of this really nicely.
Another plus of having the Protoss stuck in their base all the time. Just really quick. God, while these stalkers come in and shred a few Zerg units. Big thank you to, oh my gosh, I don't know how to say your name. Sorry, I'm going to have a go. It should, I don't know, tell me how to spell it phonetically, but thank you for subscribing.
Oh man, Zeph. I have missed you so much. You're literally the only other person who's beat me to a sub shout-out. I didn't even catch that because I'm busy trying to observe the game, so thank you for being a badass. But yes, yeah, Ichunjul, or however you pronounce that, thank you very much for your support.
That's hard, that's hard.
But multi-pronged attacks coming once again. Probes on hold position to try and buy the cannons a little bit of time. That's actually a really cool move at HuK. It seems like a vulnerable move, but really critical. Now pushing towards the south. The Mutalisks are rushing back to try and support this Swarmhost army, but HuK blinks forward. He's got to get on top of these Swarmhosts before another Locust Wave pops off, though. Oh, and the Mutalisks actually
be able to do it.
They just go for the 3rd?
All the maneuverability in the world. This 3rd, oh god, this is definitely dead. There's no way you can save
this.
But
if this comes down to a base trade, if HuK can get on top of the Swarm Hosts, the second these Swarm Hosts start dying, that's when HuK starts running rampant. But the Locusts spawn on top of this, the Archons are doing what they can. He will clear out this first wave, but HuK, does he have the momentum is the big question. There's so many cannons that the natural stalkers were warped in, sure, but losing that 3rd base is really going to cost him if he can't win the game here.
We were like in full base trade mode for a second.
He can force field the ramp.
The mutas are being taken out. The ground.
Oh, he force fields the ramp.
It looks like HuK.
The Swarmhosts are now useless. There's one Swarmhost and it goes down. If he just force fields the ramp for the rest of the game, Petraeus has nothing to defend his bases.
Absolutely nothing. He's trying to get an Ultra Den. He's trying to pump out links, but there's no forces left. 3 roaches on the other side of the map. That's all he's got. Sure, he has 3 bases still up and running, but does he have the units to take this out?
The Ultra Den's really cool. They'll break force fields. That's, I think, specifically why he's going for it.
They will take a while to come out there. That's the problem.
That's the if. But he's going to take down the Spire. He knocks down the natural. The drones live because they were burned. That's really cool. But was the Observer sniped off? Does he actually have no detection to deal with the Swarm Hosts?
No, he has 3 Observers out with the 4th one coming. I don't know where they are.
None of them with the army.
What?
None of them are with the army. So the Swarm Hosts...
like everywhere but...
Yeah, the Swarm Hosts may be able to do a little bit more. We do have Ultralisks on the way, but I kind of fear HuK's Stalker count's enough that he could actually dance around the Ultralisks.
You could probably kill them as they come out almost.
Yeah, Force Fields can go down this ramp too, and that should be a safe retreat outwards. Yeah, he doesn't even need the Force, he just walks away. Takes his 3rd back behind this HuK with a great attack, but he doesn't know Petraeus is 4th. Oh god, he would have taken out this 4th base too, guaranteed, if he knew it was down. But perhaps think he's done a little bit more damage than he did, assuming Petraeus is stuck on 1 base. That's not the case.
Well, he's going to find out about it shortly. He's setting some zealots down towards here. And let's see if Petraeus has enough to regroup to try and deal with this. There is a couple of spine crawlers here, but they're kind of in the wrong position.
Ultras.
And in come the Ultras, yep.
They're only on 1-1, but they're going to be enough to do some damage. Stalkers, as we see, Focus Firing doing quite a bit as well. Immortal's now being, well, I assume produced soon. He's actually going for the Robo Bay, looking to get some Colossus out. But HuK, man, he's bought himself back in this game in a big way. Petraeus is trying to get those hatcheries down, but the reality is, 2 hatcheries, it's not about the income that he's lost from the bases, but more about the larva he no longer has to produce with. So Petraeus' army count, it's going to be stagnant for quite some time. Macro hatchery is going to help a little bit, but there's no queen up here.
Yeah, in the meantime, HuK's looking a little bit better. His third is back up and running. Don't see Petraeus really attacking in here again, specifically because there's so many cannons everywhere, apart from the chokes and all that sort of good stuff as well, that's working in HuK's favor. The income is just hurting at the moment. He needs minerals, got plenty of gas, and maybe if he gets a decent ultra count up, it'll be really difficult for HuK to deal with this, but... It's
really awkward how much this game is reset, too, because HuK, he had this really nice ball of momentum, but upon seeing the amount of swarm hosts that were left, and again, like I kind of felt like if he had those observers on the front lines, if he had picked off those swarm hosts, even though it's only 5, he would have had enough momentum to kill that third, but now it's going to be a bit rough. I think he's going to try and blink in from behind. Looks to be the case. Ultras can actually not fit behind the mineral lines. Worth noting, guys. So these Stalkers could be in a very safe place. Petraeus going to lose a very important, very critical base as he can't really engage to defend this. He knows this too. Ultras are going to come bust through, but we're going to see like they can't fit. They're too fat.
Yeah, that's actually such a nice position for HuK. I've never seen anyone do that, not with Stalkers before. That was really great pick off, and that's just stinging so badly for Petraeus right now. It's like, man, God, I needed that income, and now he's heading towards the DTs. He's got a model, he's got Colossus tech available. He's just pretty much got everything that he could possibly need in this game, and I just don't really see Petraeus making it out of here alive, even though he does have a few ultras, is getting infestors. I think it's going to be pretty tough.
Well, moving towards the south, HuK taking another base. This game has been a little bit more back and forth than I anticipated, but let's not forget, guys, for HuK it means a little bit more. He doesn't want to go to the loser's bracket. Nice fungal growth will keep the Stalkers from blinking away. The Ultras do have chitinous plating now, but still, there's no upgrades for Petraeus. So even 3-1 Ultras, not that scary.
Yeah, not really. I don't know. I'm actually surprised Petraeus is still alive at the moment.
I'm surprised he was able to reestablish all of these bases and still take new ones. A lesser Zerg player at this point would have tapped out already. But Petraeus still sees a way to win this. But HuK's army supply, 131 over 89. He's got level 3 weapon upgrades. And look what he's done. He's purposely invested in the plasma shields because he knows the critical part of his army is not the Zealots, it's not the Stalkers, it's the Archons with their shields and the Immortals with their hardened shields. This is really cool advancing forward here in the game.
Yeah. Are there any fungals available? Oh, great one on the ramp. But still
Ultras, look how fast they're dying to these Immortals. Yeah, they're just puncturing holes through their carapace. Zealots have gone down, sure, but there's no energy left on the Infestors. Maybe a fungal or 2, but the Stalkers continue to push forward. And Petraeus going to finally tap out of game 2. This will give us game at number 3.
Awesome. I like the hallucinated Colossus right in his face at the end there.
That's pretty cute.
Very nice.
Wow, okay, so HuK and Petraeus, guys, now take it to the ace match in the semifinals. Again, while one of the players will advance to the finals, it's of the winner's bracket. So while this is the semifinals of the winner's bracket, it's kind of the quarterfinals of the overall tournament, since there is a loser's bracket involved. Either way, wow, this is... I told you guys this was going to be a good series. I told you guys these guys were well matched for one another.
Yeah, this is... I have to say, all the matches we've had today have been pretty even, pretty exciting.
Pretty rad, yeah.
Awesome. We've been choosing the right ones, that's for sure. And